As teachers, we are constantly looking for ways to get the best from our students. We research different teaching strategies and methods, we make use of the best resources at our disposal, and spend time encouraging and coaching the students. However, we do not spend much time looking at the different environments or learning spaces that our students occupy every day. I've been tasked with researching 5 different learning spaces so as to help with the new refurbishment of the school buildings. The school learning space. Changes are needed for school learning spaces to cope with the demands of the 21st century learning requirements. The traditional classrooms haven't changed much in 100 years because they allow the students and the teachers to work efficiently in the spaces that they have. While this is still the case, much more can be done now to maximise the space to enhance the learning and increase the authenticity of the teaching. The aesthetics and the children's perspectives need to be considered when designing learning spaces, as the children are the ones using the space. Classroom design and learning spaces must always first and foremost be a functional space for both teachers and students to gain the most from their time engaging with the space. I have had the privilege of working in some amazing places and have had some unusual teaching spaces to work in. The thing that impressed me the most was it was usually the places that had the least funding that were able to do the most with the limited space and resources that they had. Where the schools that had the best and biggest budgets were the ones that often had learning spaces that lacked imagination and were at times less engaging. From my experience, the community support of a school goes a long way to providing the teachers with the confidence to break away from the traditional classroom setting and utilise or create a more engaging learning space. While increases in budgets are required to keep up with the technological demands of the 21st century, budget constraints should not be the reason why learning spaces cannot be engaging. Learning beyond the classroom, incursions and excursions. Incursions and excursions allow students to become exposed to novel and stimulating experiences and give the students an opportunity to develop socially and emotionally. School excursions for me were few and far between, but always enjoyable, if for no other reason than it was a change of scenery. For me, school camps and retreats were where over a few days out of the classroom, I was able to challenge myself and really immerse myself in the experience. And this has held true of my own teaching experience, where I've had the opportunity to take groups of students on a variety of different excursions, including taking children camping in the desert for a week at a time. For many of these students, it was the first time away from the family, let alone sleeping in tents. For these students, the excursion really was a controlled adventure outside the safety of the school that provided a sensory learning opportunity that can't be manufactured easily in the classroom. Through this opportunity, the students and teachers developed a community of practice as we were all working together to ensure the smooth running of the camp, as well as being considerate and aware of the social and cultural and personal needs of the others within the group. Sadly, many of these experiences no longer occur, as many difficulties associated with such a project became too much. Teachers, while aware of the benefits that learning outside the classroom can offer, are put off from undertaking such exercises due to the perceived high risk of the experience. Perhaps if more teachers and more parents are supportive of such plans, the worthwhile and enjoyable events in the children's school life can be preserved and developed further. The e-learning space. The e-learning space is becoming more commonplace in today's classroom, whether we like it or not. Most schools now have access to a dedicated computer room with a class set of computers at the very least. One-to-one laptop programs and iPads for all students are becoming more commonplace. Teachers need to be able to embrace new technologies to keep up with their students. However, using technology in the classroom needs to be used properly, as a tool to foster learning across all subject areas, not as a substitute to other learning experiences. The balancing act that has to occur between the ever-changing e-learning environment and the more traditional teaching and learning styles is one that teachers and students will have to engage in according to their own experience and resources. I've had limited experience teaching with technology, usually because the schools I have been involved with have had limited resources, and as such the teachers were not given appropriate professional development in the use of the technology available. I have also experienced situations where technology has failed, and as such planned lessons could not be used, or the time taken to reach a goal was so long that the students had lost interest. Students today grow up with technology. They generally are confident with its use and are always looking for new and exciting ways to use technology. It is here where many teachers, myself included, are not as comfortable with technology, and as such we may be doing our students an injustice by not allowing them the opportunity to explore and discover due to our own fears. I believe that when teachers are well informed and confident, then the balance can be achieved where students are free to explore and learn in an authentic and engaging manner across all subject areas using all resources available to them. Collaborative, cooperative and group learning spaces. A group of people can share a common experience but may learn different things from it and make sense of their learning in different ways. Through sharing the group learning space, students have the opportunity to develop many life skills that will assist them in their learning journey throughout school and beyond. Group learning spaces can be categorised into three unique but similar learning spaces. They are collaborative learning spaces, where students work in small groups together to achieve a common set task. Each member of the group contributes to the end result and will assist each other to achieve the common goal. The students are assessed collectively based on the end results of the whole group. Cooperative learning space. Cooperative learning offers a proven practical means of creating exciting, social and engaging classroom environments to help students to master traditional skills and knowledge as well as develop the creative and interactive skills needed in today's economy and society. Cooperative learning itself is being reshaped for the 21st century, particularly in partnership with the developments in technology. Individual accountability is key with cooperative learning, as the students, while working together to achieve a common goal, are assessed individually within the group. The group learning space. Group learning space borrows from the collective and collaborative learning spaces, with students helping each other to achieve a set task. However, these tasks may be either individual or whole group. The students are often grouped according to ability and may be assessed either individually or as a whole group, depending on the task. The Australian curriculum allows for a larger and more diverse group of learning space. It provides a consistent and transferable way of covering the specific content throughout the country. This allows the teachers to develop, with collaboration, the best methods, techniques and strategies to help their students learn, the tools required to adapt the content to their individual situations. Through this collaboration, teachers can help their students to become engaged, lifelong learners and ultimately productive members of the wider community. I feel that the cooperative learning, when used properly, allows students to gain more from their experience in a safe and secure environment. It allows them to learn from their peers and take ownership for their own learning, while still being accountable to other members of the group and themselves. Self-directed learning. I've recently returned to study myself after a number of years away from formal education. I'm finding that learning is both exhilarating and terrifying. My good intentions of being disciplined and productive every day have not always been the reality. Like many others, life, work, children, family, etc. all get in the way. That said, I've surprised myself with my level of productivity, and the learning journey has been beneficial. For me, studying is definitely a means to an end. It has also exposed me to new ideas, methodologies, technologies that I would otherwise never experienced. I would love to have had the luxury of learning without the pressures of time and assessment tasks. However, these are often the basis of motivation. Much of my own experience holds true for the students we teach. They are at times confused, excited by learning, stressed about deadlines and assessments, and all the while trying to grasp the tools and concepts that will not only assist them for the immediate task at hand, but for life beyond the classroom. I feel that we are best to expose our students to a variety of different learning spaces and opportunities to assist our students to find their own learning space, what works best for them to become engaged lifelong learners and ultimately productive members of society. That's our challenge, And that's what the school needs to be looking at when redesigning their spaces for the students.